It's that time again, folks. Time for yet another trip down memory lane with a few of my buddies as we look back at some of our favourite times we've had with gaming. I hope you guys are excited because I sure am. So get ready as my friends and I captivate you with our tales of connection and the goo to the ga. And I'll start off with the absolute absurdity that is Gang Beasts. This is a game that I've played so much with friends over the last few years that it's just a pure blast to mess around in and laugh at. There's honestly so much memories that I could deep dive into this with how cool and downright silly things could get. From the creation of the Goonion, when someone was one round away from winning, and everyone would pretty much gang up on them to make sure their life is hell for the next few rounds until the score evened out. And then talks opened up between the two who are one shot away from victory, splitting up the Goonion. I think it was such fun mainly because me and the buds are goofing off in the background and really getting into just the madness of it all. For example, we had in-game rules like with the train map. We had the Geneva Convention, where everyone had to get over the wooden boards before one could start battering each other up. The reason being that the two carriages on the back of the train would fall off pretty quickly at the start. Now, I'm a bit of an unhinged individual and get urges to break rules like this. So I committed a war crime and broke the Geneva Convention by attacking right out the gate, trying to keep people from getting to the safe carriages. I had fun in the moment, I'll admit, unleashing this anarchy, but learned pretty quickly not to do it again. As for the next few maps, I was ganged up on and just brought to the cleaners. And I learned the lesson that being a war criminal is kinda bad. Which I probably should have known from the get-go, but what can I say? I have urges. And I think its strongest feature is that it's a game that up to 4 of us could play, and that's a rare commodity in this day and age. So, it really stuck around for me and my friends. It brings a lot of highs with just how amusing the game is. Like, I never expected to get as much fun from this game, where your jelly bean-like creatures just headbutting, drop-kicking, punching, climbing and tossing. But it's created a million memories like the two I mentioned above, and I can't help but hold this game in a fond place in my heart, for those fun, precious moments it has allowed for me and my friends to enjoy. As when we play this, I usually have a big old grin on my face. But enough about me gushing over these squishy looking creatures and Gang Beasts getting murdered horrifically. On to the next bud to discuss their gaming memory.
Hey folks, Crimsonrosso here. You probably know me as that guy who took that zebra hostage when some dude tricked me out of my copy of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Why did I take the zebra hostage instead of the guy? Well, we're not here to talk about that now, are we? We're here to chat about some gaming memories. And my choice of a game I have quite fond memories of is none other than the somewhat fondly remembered 3DS exclusive Mario Kart 7. But why exactly does this game hold such fond memories for me? Yes, it is a very well made game, filled to the brim with a lot of stuff I've loved about Mario Kart, like a large cast of playable characters, fun and interesting racetracks, and some cool new features like the ability to customize your own karts, all new gliding mechanics, and those goofy ass 7 weapons if you remember those. I don't really remember if those made a return in 8, did they? I don't know. Fun fact about the gliders though, they were originally supposed to be introduced in an earlier Mario Kart title. I believe it was Wii that it was going to be there for, but they got taken out. Now, those additions and mechanics, while definitely super cool, aren't what make this game so immensely special to me. No, what makes it special to me is how the game helped me make my first group of genuine friends in high school. See, high school was a kind of weird time for me. As in comparison to now, where you have stuff like YouTube, Discord, and other places to force people to listen to my interests, high school didn't really offer me that. Not to say I was that brooding, unsociable edgelord who sat by himself every day and refused to join any sort of group. No, I wasn't that bad. But I did spend a good majority of my time just kind of wandering from friend group to friend group. Not exactly fitting in, but not being totally isolated either. And honestly, I assumed to myself that's how I'd spend the next 4 years, just wandering. Until one day, something happened. I was sitting by myself, playing on my 3DS, and I got a Street Pass notification. I looked around and saw a couple other students playing Mario Kart 7 together. a game I just so happened to have with me. So when I mustered up the courage and asked if I could join their next game, they said yes, and we spent the entire lunch break playing Mario Kart and having an absolute blast. So much so that they invited me to join them in the morning to play more games, which I took without a second thought. And while from time to time we played other games like Mario Party, Smash Bros, or hell, we got into Yu-Gi-Oh again, like I think the senior year, and started bringing in our decks to play against each other. It was all thanks to Mario Kart 7 that I was able to go and make a genuine connection with them. And while we may have all moved on to different pastures after high school, I'll still hold those memories of Metal Marios and Blue Shells deep within my heart. And that's why it's my pick for a fond gaming memory. And it seems I've reached the end of my section for this little video. Thank you all for hearing me out on my fond days. Thank you to FR&MES for having me on as a collaborator. Always enjoy joining him and many others when we do these. Give my homie a like and a sub down below. And if you're curious about what I make on my channel, if you're interested, go check it out. I'm gonna go slap a gorilla and make myself a nice smoked steak sandwich now. Have a good day, everyone.
Hey everyone. One of the fondest memories that I have growing up as a gamer is not a particular game, but gaming with my brother. I mean, we still talk about it to this day, the all-nighters that we used to pull where we'd get a new game and play it until the sun came up. And I rarely do that in this day and age. I've got too many responsibilities, but they were definitely some great times. And games like SmackDown versus Raw were constantly on in our house, and not just multiplayer games, but also experiencing a single player game with somebody else and being able to talk about it is amazing as well. I remember playing Resident Evil 2 for the first time, and also games like Metal Gear Solid, you know, games of the generation that we used to experience together. So yeah, definitely gaming with my brother is my fondest gaming memory.
What's going on, guys? UpperNimbus here. Well, I had a lot of memories to choose from, but this time around I went with my personal memories of Mario Kart Double Dash on the Nintendo GameCube. Now, my fondest memories with Double Dash was when I was playing the game with two very close friends of mine from primary school. We would have all these visits and sleepovers over countless weekends. Sometimes they'd come to my place, sometimes I'd go to their place, but no matter the situation, we would always make sure that we played Mario Kart Double Dash together. And a lot of the time, we did like to verse each other, but we did do the occasional co-op mode where we were on the same kart together. Of course, it's more fun when you're playing your own separate karts and you're versing each other. And with one of my friends in particular, we deliberately played as the baby characters at his parents' place. And I don't know, don't ask me why, but we just kept mocking the baby characters. We played as Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and we kept going, go go gaga, like, what the hell? And then my friend's dad was just like, guys, can you stop with the go go gaga? And we just lost it. We just couldn't stop laughing, and we know deep down that his dad really enjoyed us being stupid. I mean, come on, like, who doesn't like silly kids? And if I had to choose one of my favorite tracks within Double Dash, well, there's actually quite a bit, and I know a lot of them have been remade for future Mario Kart games, but I would probably have to say the original Baby Park. I feel like the remake of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe isn't that fantastic. I feel like it really sort of feels limited without having the Bowser shells and items being able to clip through the middle of the track. So Baby Park, definitely my favorite. I just really like the baby characters in the game. They're hilarious. I always look forward to everybody else's choice within these videos, and I appreciate you having me on board, my dude. So until the next time, everybody, UpperNimbus is signing off.
Hi there, I'm Dylan. Massive thanks to Pat for having me on the channel for gaming memories. The first game that comes to mind for me is definitely Jak and Daxter, a 3D adventure platform on the PS2 from our good friends at Naughty Dog. But it's not just the game for me, but the experiences around it. I was first exposed to this game when my older brother was playing it in the sitting room. He was showing me how you could see other levels in the distance and how there was no visible loading screens, something that was really cool for the time. I would sit down with him, watch him play this game for hours, with the occasional, "Here, Dill, you beat this one for me." At the time, I had no idea what I was doing, and Misty Island scared the shit out of me, and still has me a bit on edge to this day, but I was hooked on this game, and it's why I love 3D platformers to this day. That following Christmas, what my brother gifted me will be something I always hold dear. the PS2. Now, this gift was mostly symbolic, as in, here, you can play this PS2. And to follow up, my sister gifted me a copy of Jak and Daxter, which I still have to this day. Going through my early teen years, this is a game my brother and I would still pick up to play. We're both going through a bit of a rough time at this point, but my brother being 14 years older than I am, this was kind of his way of distracting me from what was going on. We would order a Chinese takeaway and then spin into town to collect it, and then go home to 100% Jak and Daxter in one playthrough. But today, with my big boy brain, I've come to appreciate other aspects of the game, from the tight controls, fluid movement and animation, all the way to the storytelling and the humour, to the point where I still think it holds up today. This is the game that showed me not only what games were becoming, but also the kinds of experiences that games allow for, both on screen and beyond. They can bring people together in ways that, over time, can become very special. And it's something I feel that can be missing from games today without some kind of special circumstance.
And that's it, folks. Another look back at some of the fondest memories me and the buddies have had on this journey we call gaming. Do you guys have any memories to share? Well then, let us know. Always love reading them, and if you feel like sharing them in one of these videos, just ask. Be more than happy to have people on to tell their favourite stories around gaming. Special thanks to my friends for popping on and sharing some of their favourite memories. After all, they are what really make videos like this shine, and are a pure blast to listen to and work on. So if you have the time, be sure to go check them out because they make great fucking stuff. I'll have links to them in the description below. Well, until next time friends, take her handy.